Okay. And we have, I've got to say, we have not only do I have Ann Richardson, who is like my superstar. You know how you have like your guests that are guaranteed to get views, have a stellar call, once in a lifetime, unbelievable. Everything she touches is magic. But I have got some of, I won't call them out just in case they're like sitting there in their PJs trying to not be noticed. But I have some of superstar guests in the audience today as well. So we are set to go. And I want to unpack the world. Anybody that's joining this call, watching it on YouTube, this isn't a class, it's not a webinar. This is, let's get something, let's talk about the things we all want to talk about. There's something in the air. It's a new world, and things have shaken up the industry. Am I right? AI, everything has been shaken up, and we're all landing somewhere. And in a way, it's kind of exciting, isn't it?
It can be, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like,
what it depends on the lens that you're looking through. You have to and I can't even say you have to. I just have to say that each of us deals with the chaos and the vitriol in the world in our own ways. And so we have to make our peace with that if we're going to find any kind of sanity.
yeah, like that. It was in an old 80s movie, I think, as well. But there's like a famous saying, you have to let go of who you used to be to become who you want to be, or who you
Yeah, and I
really
think
are.
that's easier for us as we age. We care less and less about what others think and feel about us, about optics and impressions. And I think it's easier to release that old shell as you age.
Because isn't it so silly? I remember like a few years I went through this like, oh my God, really? People are going to start thinking I'm irrelevant if I'm a certain age and am I visible? And then like, I used to listen to webinars and podcasts. I used to like, what do you mean I just like can't be bothered. There's
I know.
so much to do. I like can't be bothered to
I
work with.
know. There's the momentary panic, the momentary freak out that they don't know I exist. Nobody cares. And then what settles over me is I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's the who is they.
Right. It
There's a
depends on
whole world that you just kind of go, have fun, guys.
its context. Yeah, it's contextual. I mean, yeah, I would freak out if my producers and clients didn't know I exist.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe freak out is too strong of a word. I just would need to know I need to buckle down and do a better job getting myself out there. But I used to just absolutely spin my wheels in the sand, striving and yearning to narrate better and better books because I wanted all the awards. I want all the earphones. I want all the Audis. I want all the Sovas. And that is such wasted energy. It is such a waste of energy because you can't control who they pick. You can always strive to do a better job, but you cannot force a decision that is totally up to somebody's preference.
But do you not find what I feel that I have in common with you is you unapologetically, and might I use the word audaciously,
Okay.
announced in several different ways in the past your feelings about success. And I love that and admire that. And I've always felt a tinge of I shouldn't be admitting it because other people, it was like success is not something you should be, I should be just zen and happy to sit in my own lane. But there's a difference between success and competition. It's like I don't need to beat other people. And I never saw that in you either, but I do see a massive drive and it doesn't flag. And I love that. To me, that drive is the drive that keeps people living till they're like in their hundreds, because there's always you're pushing. What drives you?
Uh, Um, my Scandinavian heritage, my Midwestern upbringing. No, it's all a conglomeration of all those things. But I think what drives me is not trying to outachieve someone else, but to create steps for myself to get better, you know? And I have faith that if I get better, better opportunities will come to me. So overall, I kind of feel like the physician's creed, the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm.
Yeah.
That's really at the base of how I like to operate. And I always like to give back. Am I perfect at it? No, I can be thoughtless and inconsiderate and not realize it and make bad decisions. Lord, we all do that. I just don't broadcast that I do that a lot. But to do
I
no,
broadcasted it on 250 calls.
oh,
Every bad decision right there.
oh, I can't. I have some kind of disorder where if I do something wrong, I just completely lose my shit. And so that's an unrealistic expectation. But let me just back up. Competing against myself. I feel good when I can cross things off of a list, when I can work hard to achieve a goal and I reach it. I'm very goal driven.
Yeah.
But then you know what, Daniele, sorry.
Close
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. On the other side of that, I had an epiphany last year. And I know that we're all facing AI taking our jobs, the prospect of AI stealing work from us. We're facing, a lot of us middle ground narrators are facing a dearth of work where we suddenly wake up and find an empty calendar and we feel like there's nothing we have done that can move the needle. And you feel so exhausted. Do I have to make another social media post? Do I have to send out another round of emails to all the producers? Do I have to keep tooting my own horn? My gosh, this is also exhausting and daunting and frequently icky feeling. And I was looking at a totally empty calendar last year. And I I decided to go a different direction. And for 7 months, I was a pet sitter dog walker.
Have you
And
quit? Do you not, are you not doing it anymore?
no, and I'll get to that, but it was an amazing experience. And the reason it was amazing was because I did that in the morning. So from sometimes 5:30, 6 a.m. until 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And if
Wow.
emergencies happened, I would work later. But it got me out of the house. It got me physically moving. I got to play with animals. I got to drive my Jeep all over town. I love where I live. Um, my memory got better. I mean, I can't remember where I park the car when I go grocery shopping, but all of a sudden, I was not using my GPS. I was driving all over town to places I didn't even go ever. It was amazing. So, and something that I don't hear a lot of other people talk about is eye focus. When you're out and about and you're driving and you're working with animals and you're looking at the landscape, watching for like other dogs coming your way and whatever, or cats or squirrels, you your eyes focus. Your eyes are constantly focusing on different things, different depths. Your brain is assessing different things coming at you or going away from you. You have to pay attention to the animals. There's no way you can check out or phone it in with a job like that.
Do you know what? Can I just, I'm not going to interrupt and do that thing where, so you know about me, but just to add this in so you can take it with you with the rest of this. You say I focus. For 6 months, I've been walking 3 hours every morning, and I do an exercise where you breathe into the count of four. Each count is a foot. Right, left, right, left. Breathe out through your mouth, count of six. Right, left to six. I went and got my eyes tested the other day, and they gave me the wrong prescription because they wanted to put the old astigmatism in. I don't have an astigmatism anymore. My eyes used to be completely different one eye to the other, and they kept rechecking because they're now exactly the same.
Really?
And so, sorry, I did do that. Oh, about me. I didn't mean to,
No, no, no.
but it really is
This
pertinent to
is a
what
give
you
and
said
take.
about the eyes. I didn't put it together that that could be what caused it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so glad because I remember you've had some dreadful eye issues.
Yeah. That the left, right, and the balance and your eyes, you're using your eyes in a different way. That I didn't really realize it. That really could have been because they were like, it can't be the right. Literally had to go back and bring the glasses back, and they're like, oh, it's the wrong prescription.
That's
And
fantastic. What a great story, Daniela. I'm so glad you shared that.
well, it just goes to show, take a walk, huh?
Well, yeah, do some, well, and that's what the epiphany was to, it's, I always tell my people that I'm talking to who care to listen, you have to have a work-life harmony, not necessarily balance, but harmony. And I think Braden Wright is the one that coined that phrase that made me remember it. And that means, not five, not, 6 hours of a day you're in the booth and 6 hours you're watching TV or something else. You have to have ebb and flows where maybe you work 20 hours a day for a week and then you have a shorter week the next week. So it's harmonious. But what I learned with that whole pet walking thing is that if you if you want a good result, if you want that mental peace, if you want that regeneration of your battery, you have to do something different from what you usually focus on.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to that audiobook Stolen Focus right now, and he said the exact same thing. I was on my treadmill and I stopped and I was like, whoa. And then I stopped the treadmill. And he said, if you scroll for 20 hours a day on your cell phone, on your computer or whatever, and you want to stop that, you can't just stop. You have to replace that time with
Is
something.
that Johan Hari?
No, it's some Australian guy.
Oh, oh.
I can't remember his name. That's like the cardinal sin against narrators to not list the
Yeah.
narrator when you talk
I
about an
am.
audiobook.
Oh,
Um,
no, but I mean the writer.
no, It's some, well, now I got to look it up.
I know
Um,
now it's gonna bug me. Because I love his magic pill. Stolen Focus. Yeah,
well, yeah,
Johan
now it
Hari.
says, now that's who it says it is, Johan Hari.
Johan
Maybe it
Hari. He's one of
is.
my favorite people. I love him.
He's Australian, right?
No, I think he's English. Really insightful books. And it was like, I, he brings his humanity to his writing.
Oh,
And
maybe maybe that's who it is.
I should give it
Um,
another chance. So do you like the book? I loved
oh, I
his other
love it.
book.
I'm a self-help junkie. I love
Mm.
this book. And so he just reinforced what I discovered on my own is that you have to supplant the activity you're trying to stop or reduce. You have to supplant it with something completely different. Um, for me, not digital. I have to make that break. We're narrators. We're in the booth staring at a screen all day. And if we're
Yeah.
not narrating, we're reading on a screen to prep for the next day, or we're researching, or we're taking notes on characters. We can't bust our eyes away from this digital environment. We're stuck to it. But
Yeah.
this dog walking thing was absolutely, I'd say, life changing for me. And
Why
I,
did you not do it anymore? Did you quit?
because yeah, well, since I had that empty calendar and I needed to keep the paycheck rolling in, um, the day, and it happened very shortly after I took the job, I had to cancel a coaching session with a student that paid
Mm.
9 times what I was making walking dogs. I mean,
Yeah.
minimum wage versus a coaching gig, it didn't make sense. I knew, and that's what actually became more distilled for me was a focus professionally. I'd be out there walking these dogs and stuff, but in the back of my mind was like, I love what I do. I love this narrator community. I love audiobooks. I don't want to give it up. I'm not ready to tap out. So what can I do to re-energize my focus and inject my career with some caffeine or whatever? And so the last 3 months of doing this were full of brainstorming ideas of
Yeah.
how to increase my visibility, how to reach out better, more frequency, more structure, more road mapping. Um, and it got me really excited. I didn't realize I was circling the drain, and I was.
Do you find, because yeah, we've had a bit of a very similar journey, interestingly. Um, but I had an epiphany, funny enough, yesterday that I've been doing projects, different projects. And it's what I said about the Cup of Joe calls. I'm a schedule person, but like my brain just doesn't, my brain just wanders off and wants to do something else because it sounds like fun. And those things are ending up pretty fun, like, but for no reason and not necessarily getting. And I was talking about a project with another narrator, and they said, "Oh, I won't say what because I want to just, I don't want to put a pinprick in the magic of it right in the beginning." And they had this suggestion, this idea they thought of. And I instantly, it was like a quadruple yes. Oh my God, that's amazing. And for like two people to think something's amazing at the same time, that creative fire. And I've lost that. I find it every once in a while. I found it when I started the Cup of Joe, that creative spark where your brain sees something that would be fun, and then you start imagining how it could look in the end, and then you think, oh, we could do this. And then, and even more, having somebody else excited about it. I was last night, I couldn't sleep. I was buzzing because of this creative fire. And not once did I think about money, pay, what it would do to get me more publisher work, awards. I didn't, none of that. I was thinking covers, characters, how it would sound with the, different voices. And that maybe finding the things that feed your soul. Because maybe some people, the money and the, ooh, I could get 6,000 emails out feeds their soul. And I've been trying to be one of those people, but I'm not. I want to do the project and go, ooh, like making crocheting a blanket.
Oh, yeah.
You can see what it's going to look like. And you're like, ooh, and you can't wait to get it done. So you can see the
Yeah,
finished blanket and go, I did this. And post it everywhere and
absolutely.
show everyone.
And that's what you have to do. You have to figure out what feeds your soul. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of us get so wrapped around the axle trying to be successful in as other people think of success. I mean, of course, everybody wants to be highly esteemed. There's nothing wrong with that. That drives a lot of success. It drives a lot of achievement. But to feed your soul, it may not feed your soul. And you have to find out what that is in order to keep going. You have to have nourishment to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you need money to keep going as well.
Well, yeah, that too. That little, oh, money, that little
But
detail.
but I think the path to the money is following the soul. And I mean, if you think about it, if you work with a student as a coaching client, and they have like 3, 4 epiphanies, and then you go out and walk 2 dogs, and your brain thinks of 4 new ideas. And then you have a book that you love recording, and you're like really excited about it. And it comes out, and you're like, wow, this is a moment in my career I'm never going to forget. After a week like that, honestly, what are the odds of your reach out email to publishers not sounding like, oh my God, look what I've just done? And they're going to hire you.
Yes,
Everyone wants to work with the happy people that seem to have life figured out, don't they?
Absolutely. Where energy goes, success grows.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we were discussing before we went live, and you were sharing with me that you feel sometimes like your attention is diverted to other things and you have to figure things out. I have to tell you, I really hope that you keep doing this Cup of Joe podcast because I don't think you fully grasp how many people, well, maybe it's in the numbers, I don't know, but people go to you for such a resource in the industry because you interview such fascinating people. You interview people important to the industry. I mean,
Thank you so
you're
much.
on my list of podcasts I give to all of my coaching students.
Oh, oh, that's lovely. You're probably responsible for the numbers then. What are you busy doing? What are your things that you need to do and that you're passionate about that you just wish you could fit them all in?
Oh, well, okay. So here's something fun. And this is like the second time I've ever talked about this out loud.
Ooh.
So you may or may not know that I have a publishing company, publishing slash production company, and it's a really strange one. It's
Okay.
so niche that I am never a threat to any other publishing company in the world. It's called Great Plains Audiobooks,
I have
and
heard that name. I have heard
yeah,
that name.
so through that, I produce and publish books that are either written by or about the Midlands, the Midwest, Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, that little area that's truly center of the United States,
That's so cool.
or or Scandinavian books that wouldn't otherwise be made into audiobooks in English.
Is
Talk about
Scandinavian Heige? Is that Heige or Higgy? Is that
hygge,
Scandinavian? It
hygge.
is.
I think that's Danish,
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I
but it
interrupted
close,
you.
whatever.
Sorry. So you have this publishing company. So
Yeah, so
how much
it's
do you?
so the niche is so focused, but part of that being Great Plains, I'll back up. In California, my kids were all taught about the Spanish missions, the father, whatever his name was, made all the missions, 17 missions down the coast of California, where he indoctrinated all the Native Americans into Christianity, killed them all with smallpox and labor, and abused them and set up all these beautiful missions that our kids study about now. When I was a kid in school back in Nebraska, we were taught about the Plains Indians and all the we instead of the missions where our kids had to build little missions in fourth grade, like here's the San Juan Batista mission, here's the San Jose mission.
San
We
Juan
built,
Capistrano, the birds. Oh,
yeah,
that's so
yeah.
cool.
Well, in Nebraska, we made little models, dioramas of Indian houses. The different tribes had different houses. You had the teepees, you had the huts. I can't
Oh,
remember what
that's
they're.
cool too. That's really cool too.
So that's a undercurrent that has I was raised with, and it's important to me. And I just feel just absolutely horrible at the way that they've been treated historically by white man. And there are some really good authors, older authors like Mari Sandoz, Willa Cather, um, and on, who did write about the Native Americans. And please forgive me if there's a better political way to say that. Native voices, I'm not sure. I'm going to say
Well,
Native
the
Americans.
the intention is there, but yes,
Yeah.
you intend to not offend anyone. If anyone is offended, there was no intention.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't come up with that. So I'm a member of the Mari Sandoz Society, my publishing company is, and they put out a newsletter and they partner with, I think it's the University of Colorado, where they take Native American youth and nurture their writing. They teach them how to write. They put on contests. They have workshops for them. My dream is to go there and partner with them and put some of these Native American youngsters' writings into audio.
That'd be
So,
so cool. You
wouldn't
can
that be
email
so
them.
cool? I would
When are you
love
going to
to do
do
that.
it?
Well,
Email them.
I will, but I
Tomorrow.
really
Seriously, nothing's stopping you, is it?
just bandwidth. Right now I've
Email
got
them
some,
tomorrow. Oh,
yeah,
come
okay.
on. You
Okay.
can find time. Seriously, think about how exciting that would be. And you could get it kicked off. Can you imagine how cool your holidays would be this year? Because it would really be starting to flourish by then.
I know. I just wrote it down. I'm going to make myself do it. But I was in Omaha last week, 2 weeks ago, at the end of April. And I ran into a lady from New York who has this passion for Native American languages. And she sold everything in New York and moved to Nebraska to study two different languages. I'm not sure. One was Lakota Sioux, and the other one was maybe Omaha Indians language. So she speaks a couple of different Native American languages. And I said, wow, I really want to connect with you. And I explained what I just explained to you
Yeah.
to her, and she got all jazzed up about it. So I've got her business card. I'm going to reach out to her. Maybe there's something that we can partner together to do to see, to talk through this, to make it a logical progression to get this done, because I really feel it would
Yes.
be helpful.
And two emails. I mean, how long would that take? You could literally get those two emails done in like 20 minutes tomorrow. And
I
tomorrow's
could.
Wednesday. Have it arrive in their inbox by 10 o'clock in the morning. They'll get attention first thing. And then magical things can start happening.
Yes, I agree. And I really would like to do it because this is bigger than me. It's bigger than
Yeah.
a publicity stunt. It's not a social media stunt. I really feel like if these kids are being nurtured into bringing their stories from their culture to the written page, it should extend to audio.
But the other thing you said about how, like, when we were 10, we built teepees, and when they were 10, they built missions. I think we did missions. And I remember because there was like not the Girl Scouts, but the Indian Scouts. I know different time, different, but I just was like fascinated by with me, it was always the outfits, right? Not so much the culture, it was like the outfits when I was a kid. I loved it, but think about that. That's what we're talking about, isn't it? Because when you're 10, you have this magical mind that's, I think you're at the height of your creativity. You know, I love 10-year-olds. You've got this magical mind that's like, oh, still open, but starting to see the world. And you're still in touch with who you are, with like the self. I think a lot of 10-year-olds still have a hold of that. And you're exposed through school to weird things that you might not necessarily have sought after. And in a way, audiobook narrators are too. Like, that nonfiction book they give you that you're like, really? You thought of me for that one? Thank you. But then you get it and you like learn life lessons from it. And there was one I did about um windfall, the mining, Canadian mining. And it was a strong woman and it was an amazing book, right? So all the things I didn't think I wanted to do. Lots of research, lots of names, mining. And I've never forgotten it. Like that whole winter, I felt like I was like, in harsh climes and that, don't we want that back again? That following that, ooh, I could build a mission, or ooh, I could go in a different form, albeit your form is helping a community doing an amazing thing in the world. But think about how many things we could love if we exposed ourselves to it.
I know. I know. Well, I think we tend to be very myopic because we're
Yeah.
searching for some sort of fulfillment. And we as narrators are so fortunate that our clients cast us in these books that we're like, yeah, you thought of me for stock market dividends book.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think that's why partly why we're so lucky. Um, I love a lot of my work is nonfiction. I'd say probably over 50% of my narration work is nonfiction. And I just narrated a book for Penguin Random House called Cholesterol Down.
Oh.
And I feel like I'm a very healthy person. I work out 3 times a week. I walk Dolce, my dog, almost every day. I don't eat stupid. I could lose 10 pounds and things would fit better, but I feel like I'm a pretty healthy person. My cholesterol is horrible. It's horrible. And then I got this book, and my doctor was not helping me at all. She said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I have no idea. You're the doctor. Tell me what, I don't know anything about cholesterol." Um, so I narrated this book and it gives me steps on how to fix my cholesterol. Holy shit. So I told Jessica Kay from Curated Audio is the one that cast me in that book. And I said, "I'm going to let you know in 6 months if this worked."
Can I interject a little tip? If you, every single night, I have a small bit of my dinner, but I always, always, always make a huge salad. I have half the salad before I eat the food and half the salad after I eat the food. Vegetables do the same thing that plant sterols do. They stop your body absorbing triglycerides.
Yeah, that's in the
I am
book.
not a medical doctor, nor do I play one on TV, but I have lost 50 pounds in 1 year
Holy cow. Wow.
without dieting. So,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, this book is full. It even has the recipes. It even we need to eat red delicious apples because the skin of the red delicious apple has been proven to be the most potent. You need to eat almonds. That's really good. And beans, not green beans, but beans like garbanzo beans, lima beans, whatever. And a whole bunch of other stuff. Egg whites, not the yolk. But anyway, it was a great book, but I would have never sat down and read that if I weren't paid
Right.
to read it.
You get actually the one I had was a medical book, and I'm the most squeamish human being on earth. And it was really squeamish. I mean, it was people had a disorder, and it was very descriptive about body symptoms. And there was a bit of cognitive therapy in it for how people could stop.
Oh, really?
And I took on the suggestions just in life subconsciously and changed my life
Hmm.
completely. Kim says, I picked up a short story collection at a powwow, The Lone Ranger and Tonto Fist Fight in Heaven by Sherman Alexie. It has not been made into audio. He's a great writer.
That's awesome. Kim, is it written like should a man narrate this audiobook? Because frequently women shouldn't narrate it. Men, yeah. Wow, that looks interesting. The Lone Ranger and Tonto fist fight in heaven. There's a setup, huh? I love that.
Can I ask you a question? I'm
Yeah,
interested in
I'm here.
women shouldn't narrate men. I get that I've heard that. I've broken that rule a few times. And weirdly, I've been hired for male parts. I mean, I have a low voice, but I know it's not about the voice, but I enjoy doing male characters in my narration. And I'm not in any way being defensive or asking because I'm just literally curious. What are the reasons they say women shouldn't narrate male POVs? Do you know?
Well, for me, in my opinion, and I just turned down 3 books offered to me that were all written by a man about a male character. And it pained me, but I don't feel like I could do it justice. I don't have the testosterone, I don't have the lived experiences, and the whole book I would be trying to voice it as a man, and that would be hard for me to sustain the POV of being a man. It would, to me, it would feel disingenuous. I can't settle into a
It's
man.
I'm just trying to figure it out for myself because I don't know what I think about it. And I
You
am a little
carry,
disturbed that I feel more like the male characters in books than I do the women.
no, I don't think you should feel disturbed, Daniela. You've got the gravitas and you've got the you can settle into the skin. I- Don't be disturbed. That's a talent. I don't possess that talent.
But I can't decide because I am also a firm believer in doing the book justice. And I also am a firm believer in known experiences and I don't do certain books if I feel that there are other narrators that are more, where they're from, their home, I have literally turned them down. And I'm starting to do that with religious books. And you don't in the past, I've been conscious of advertising what I won't do because that's not a good, thing to do. But really, maybe look at my portfolio before you think about whether I'm the best person.
I think you need to change that philosophy, Daniela, and do say what you won't do. They appreciate that. So I'm very upfront about what I won't record. I will not narrate child or animal abuse that's just
Animal,
gratuitous, you know.
I have a problem with that. I run into it with thrillers, and if I don't know up front, it it hurts my heart. But a lot of the
Yeah.
best thrillers and Disney. I mean, really, it's a cheap shot. Why do you put the animal in danger in every single thing? You do it on purpose. You know you do.
I know, The Lion King, come on.
Every
Um,
single thing, ever since Bambi. Ever since
yes,
Bambi.
yes, totally. You know, I don't mind if it serves the story and it's not, you know, just gratuitous and egregious. I will, but if that's the whole purpose of the book, I can't do that.
I like a book. I've become very refined in my taste after all these books. And what I found that I love the most is a book where they make you care deeply about a character that you shouldn't care about or like. But they somehow make you live in that person's skin so well that by the end of the book, you do care. And they're not even maybe a nice person. Or they're not, my favorite character ever to play was in Keep Your Friends Close, and it was Brooke. And okay, now I can't tell you why it was my favorite in the ending because it'll be a spoiler in case anybody ever wants to.
Well, I'm writing
But
it down because I like to listen to my friends narrate.
it was a multicast, and oh my God, um, Candace, Stephanie, and Leanne. I mean, I can't speak for myself because I was one amongst many, but I mean, really, if you're on a book with Candace, Stephanie, and Leanne, like Tanya Eby cast it, it was the most fun. It was so fun.
Awesome.
If I
I'm
could
gonna
look at
get
my
it. I'm
font.
gonna get it.
Yeah, they were amazing. They were amazing. I like doing multicasts. I don't do them often, but when you work with another narrator, you feel like you're being lifted up by this huge talent. They are literally lifting you up.
That's great. Did you guys correspond and coordinate and
Yeah, I mean, we did the normal, emails and everything and but of course we're all friends, aren't we? I mean, here's me saying I'm an introvert. I don't like big group things, but the friendship of my individual narrator friends, you feel like they're your real friends. I don't understand why they should be less my friend. Why Anne Richardson, who I've talked about the meaning of life with, on many like late night chats with our amaretto and our coffee, why you should be less of a friend than that weird guy that picked his nose that I would see at the coffee maker at Shell Oil. Like, why? Just because you happen to work at the same place, which you know what I mean? But that's how people got friends, isn't it, in the past?
and
Who
don't
you
shake his
happen,
hand.
oh, yeah, no, I'm not a toucher either.
I know you, I remember that about you. And please forgive me if I see you in person. My strongest desire would be to hug you, but I will not if I remember that about you.
yeah, I'm not, well, but that's the other thing they say. They say if you give them a role to play, I can be the speaker, I can be the person making people friends with each other, but I'm not going to give all the good signals, the little high fives and the secret. It's like the businesses. Have you ever worked in a corporate office? You have, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you know how they have acronyms for everything?
Mhm.
It's not a manila folder, it's an XYZ. They're doing that to keep everyone out so they feel like they're part of the herd.
It's
They don't have to do it.
back when we were in plays, we called them backstage jokes or inside
Yes,
jokes. And it's
yes,
designed to solidify your little junta and everybody else, keep everybody else feeling left out.
And I was the left out person. I was up in the back, peeking out the curtains before opening, so excited, like in my own world. I was left out. I was friends with everyone, but it is designed to keep people out, isn't it? So that people
Mhm.
in feel better.
Yeah. So you can
So
be,
that
yeah, rarefied air.
so you're not eaten by the lion out in the jungle or wherever.
Hmm.
Wow.
That's
Neil
too funny.
Hallegard's, that book was amazing.
And Neil's
It's
great.
I rarely. So what do you think? But you see, that's how I feel about somebody else was having a conversation, and it doesn't make me feel better. When you go into those groups and they all say, oh, it is difficult out there. A lot of people are going through the same thing as you. I was on a call with somebody the other day, and I think somebody said, but it's not just you. There's, it's because of AI and there's a lot of competition and you know, people have blank spots or the industry's changing, which I already get. But hearing that it's not just me is the last thing I want to hear. Whereas those groups I think are designed for comfort in numbers. It's not just you, but when I hear it's not just me, I hear it's an unmovable force that I've got no chance of like, I want to hear, well, there are a lot of people that are doing it. Here's how they're doing it.
I'm
That,
with you on that, Daniela. Yes, there's a weird kind of drought going on, but to keep hammering at it and hammering at it, oh, it's terrible out there. Oh, I can't find work. Oh, everybody else is the same way. Oh, this is awful. What's happening? I can't wallow in that pit. I think I'm like you. I would rather hear from people who are saying, yeah, I got a little tougher out there, but I'm changing this, I'm doing that. And that's why I took an Instagram class earlier this year with Emma Faye, because that was part of my brainstorming when I was walking the dogs. There's got to be a way out of this pit that I was stuck in. So,
yeah,
what can I do? And one of them is upping my social media presence because despite the wonderful surveys that went around asking, how have you found business and are you active on these platforms and whatever, despite the results, I have talked to no less than 3 casting directors that have told me their authors are bringing a short list of narrators from social media based on their followers, not their
yeah.
talent. It's there. You can't deny it. So no, I'm not going to get a gazillion followers, but I do feel like I need to up my social media presence. So that's one thing that I'm doing, increasing my outreaches. And I would like to, just like you said, I would like to hear what other people are trying. Let's share ideas. Yes, it's a saturated industry, but it can't be impossible. There's more work than ever out there.
I don't see, but and that's the thing. I did this thing in November. I was like, I'm going to disappear and reinvent myself. I'm going to completely back away from social. And I announced it. I'm not looking, I'm not going to be an audience. I am a creator. I am not looking at other people's output. I am making my own output. And yeah, my mental health improved unbelievably. And I literally grew like I'm embarrassed about the girl I was in October, but I changed so much in that way. But I went through a really like if everyone's saying that it's saturated, if everyone's saying there's a reason, then I don't want to attach myself to that energy. So the answer is I need to the energy I had when I first started reaching out to indie writers. And oh my God, I've got some success. Oh my God, they're booking me for this. Oh my God, what an amazing writer. What an amazing book. And then I think you have to keep reinventing yourself, right? And you have to, and that's fine as artists and creatives. Of course, we all hate AI. We all hate that the world's changing, but don't, I need, I personally need to know how and what and why things work. So when you said social media, I had that pit in my stomach. Oh God, right? But no, Daniela, what if there are approaches and ways that you could do videos and show up for things that you enjoy rather than join the like, dislike, LOL herd? You know what I mean?
I do.
There,
Do what works for you. You do
yeah,
you. That's what makes you you.
yeah. And
And
do
your
more of
path is
it.
not my path, and my path is not your path. We all, and that's the thing about narrators, right? We didn't all go to grade school and say, I want to grow up and be an audiobook narrator.
Yeah,
No,
we
we
found our
lived a
own
lot of
path.
life before we ended up here. And I think a lot of us just kind of ended up here.
Yeah. And Emma Faye, oh my God. Emma Faye and I, literally the things that I hate to do are the things she loves to do, and the things I love to do are the things she hates to do. I have huge respect for Emma with her social media. Um, I mean, she's just naturally a genius when it comes to that kind of thing.
Oh, she
So
is.
there are social media approaches that don't make me cringe. I just need to come at them in a way that I don't have to pay attention to the other stuff. Because
Absolutely.
trying to join TikTok when you haven't been on it, oof,
Yeah,
you know,
it's icky, and you don't have to be on every platform,
yeah,
Pick the ones that work for you, that you know how to work. And in Emma's class, she presented a variety of ways you could be more visible on social media. You don't always have to say, Happy release day. I'm so happy they asked me to narrate this, or
I actually do all that. I do all that because but I'm doing that for my writers because they're proud of their books. The least I can do if they let me narrate is, and I'm really excited about that book. Oh my God,
then keep doing that. But my point is, you don't have to just fit between the narrow lanes of what somebody else is doing.
you don't
Do
have to
do it the
go
way
and
you
twerk on TikTok
I can't work.
because that's what they all look like to me. And
The
all these
dances.
narrators that I've never heard of in my entire life. When I look up narrators on TikTok, nothing personal. If you're one of these narrators, I don't mean you, I mean all the other ones, talking about how to be a successful audiobook narrator. And like, I'm like, I don't, who are you? Like, and the things they're saying, like, I've never heard in my entire life. Like, because it's the attention economy.
Yeah, it is. It is. So cultivate the relationships you value that you want to have.
Yeah.
Give back. Be the person that you would like to be around. That's a big clarifying question for me is would I like to spend time with myself if I weren't me? That's a weird way to put it, but would you want to work with yourself? I guess is another way to put it. Just think consciously of the bigger picture and how you can preserve who you are at your core. I mean, who were you before you were a narrator? Who were you in elementary school? In elementary school, I read a lot. I played with my animals a lot. I picked up a lot of snails and rocks and sticks and pretty leaves. I, I painted and drew and sketched all the time, all the time. Um, and
Oh
that's
God.
the core.
I
What?
snuck my grandmother's lingerie into school, and then they kept having to. I kept sneaking out of class when it was a windy day, so I could wear my grandmother's lingerie and fly around the yard with the wind because I thought I was Jennifer Hecate, Macbeth, William McKinley, and me. So I had the costume and everything. I was a problem.
Well, that is hilarious. That
Yeah, I
is
got,
hilarious.
yeah,
I love that story.
yeah.
Wow.
I like the line between reality and fantasy, never very big of a deal to me.
Oh my goodness. Well, I never snuck out my grandma's undies to or lingerie. I didn't ever mess with her personal clothing at all.
because it was like I Dream of Jeannie kind of 50s stuff, and I thought it looked really cool. And I had my hair dark and I had a funny hat.
Oh,
I
that's
had a
fantastic.
veil during my Wuthering Heights days. I used to wear a veil. I was 13 and I wore a veil. There's a
Like
reason I
in
probably wasn't
Beetlejuice,
part of the herd.
like Winona Ryder in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, but before it was cool.
I love that. And so you're still you're still interested in fashion. I remember you posting pictures of boots and stuff that you wanted or were looking at. That's part of who you are.
You said something amazing. You just said something amazing, though, that made me think. This is why you're a coach. This is amazing. You said, think of who you want other people to think you are and who you want to be in relation to other people. And you just made me think of the conversation I had with the narrator yesterday. And what I was saying about like how there's so many narrators that are like, oh, Doreen. I like to think of a trendsetter, but there's so many narrators. And when I listen to you guys say things on social media or on Cup of Joe calls or on old school calls, and I think, oh my God, can you imagine them doing this kind of audiobook? Can you imagine them doing? And so the thought of producing magic with other narrators is like exciting. Like I didn't go to sleep last night. I was so excited about the thought of this project with this other narrator.
I wish you
That
could share it with us.
it's amazing. I would never dare. I would blab it to the world if it was just me, but this other narrator is not a blabber. So they would hate me for it. So I would never say it. But
When can we expect to hear about it?
well, I've actually got two with two other narrators, so I'm not going to get in trouble because for the one that thinks I'm talking about them, no, I'm talking about the other one. So, but I have never done that before because I thought multicasts were something a publisher did, and then if you're lucky, you get your name on it. But producing individual projects with fellow narrators, there's something about it that speaks to me. There's something about it that just feels exciting. Like my heart feels like it's full of bubbles thinking about it. And isn't that what we
Wow.
all want? You know, your heart full of bubbles.
Yeah. Well, no, because that would cause an embolism and it would travel to your brain and you'd have a stroke. So no, no hearts full of bubbles
Figuratively.
here.
Well, what is the Christmas videos? That's what it was, isn't it? That feeling. I can't tell you guys, if you've not worked with another narrator on a project, let's all reach out to a narrator we admire and do something with them. Put our heads together and especially if you're one of those people attached to the energy of scarcity at the moment. How about every single one of us, marching orders, reach out to a narrator that you admire and that you think you could be on an audiobook with and produce something with them. And there are some seriously cool ones in public domain, so don't tell me you don't have any ideas. There's
But
some
then how
great
do you work
projects.
how do you work the money end of that though?
Um, the one narrator I initially talked to about it, because we were going to do an anthology of something, um, they seemed to understand how it would work. I am still not 100% clear, but we're going to talk about it. And the other narrator, we haven't brought it up yet because, but I'm telling myself, the control freak that I am, not to get bogged down in that yet and focus on the creative stuff while it's still powerful. That takes care of itself. Because, I mean, how hard can it be? I mean, it's different because I'm in another country, but you have to put a Kindle book up. The way you do a public domain book and publish it yourself in ACX is you put the Kindle book up, but you abridge it. You have to you can add an introduction, you can make a few changes, and then you publish that Kindle as the rights holder. So then I don't see why, you guys don't quote me on this because I've not done it and I bow down to my fellow narrators' knowledge because they have. But why couldn't the other narrator be the narrator on the book and you be the rights holder, and then you both automatically get 40%. Wouldn't that work? Except the person that did the annotating the manuscript would get the Kindle sales. You could work out how to split that yourselves. You know, I don't know how much that would make because you're also getting you're getting 40% and you're getting royalty shares from the Kindle edition of the public domain. So if you get a cool enough cover, you might sell one or two copies of that. And then if you do a couple of short ones, box that up into a bundle, you've got a project there, and you've got a project with a narrator that you respect and admire, and both your names are on there. You add both your names to the line in ACX when you check it out, and both your names are on there. And you've curated and put something in your portfolio, the genre you want, with a narrator that you're proud to be alongside with, that you respect and admire, and then you're sending a reach out to a publisher saying, so excited, I worked with so and so, and we created this. And there are a lot of public domain books that don't initially scream public domain. So, or you could both find an indie writer and you could do a duel in whatever genre you want for that indie writer. Then you just split the royalties yourself, send it to each other, whatever. It depends on how close a friend you are. But then you send a reach out to a publisher. Even if you're not working together, it would be easier to do public domain with another narrator. But this is what I say to people. If you reach out to indie writers, I know it's discouraging, but assume you're not going to get an answer and just do one a day or 5 a week or something for books you really love. Then you've booked the book. It's on Audible under your name. This writer has other books with a publisher. You're adding it to your list when you're reaching out to that publisher. That publisher doesn't know that you reached out to the writer. And who's the writer going to ask for next time they have a list of curated names they want? The person that worked with them professionally and guided them through the system and has become friends with them. You know what I mean? Your work is speaking for itself.
Yeah, and you're making your own luck. I'm
Yeah.
I'm big on that. You have to be creative. You have to suss out these opportunities and make your own luck. I think that's fabulous. Very
And
smart.
the work is leading.
Yeah.
So reach out to a friend and say, let's do a cool book.
I actually did do that with my publishing company. There was a story called Lost and Found in Nebraska, and I did it
Oh.
duet style with Jim Siebert.
Oh
And
my God, I can't think of a better duet. That's great. You and Jim Siebert.
it was really fun, and it was about Mari Sandoz, and an old cassette tape was involved. So I changed and I engineered the whole thing. I studied with a couple of engineers to learn how to do this, and so it turned out I thought it was really cool. Book has not sold. I am not a good marketer, but I loved it. It was so much fun, and Jim did a great job.
But it's like, did you talk about putting that on your reach outs to publishers? I'd love to draw attention to this beautiful little book I did with a colleague that I admire. And I mean, I think we should start one of those social media hashtag trends. Hashtag work with a friend,
Oh, that's a cool thing. That's a
work
great
buddy,
thought.
bring your fellow narrator to work or something. I think we should all do it. And then we should all send our publisher reach out letters. On my work with a friend, this is so and so and I got together and collaborated. I think, what message does that send? Rather than, oh, we're all sitting here scared of a dry spell. AI is taking our jobs. These new people, they've been saying that since COVID, right? And I don't buy it. And what message is instead, let's lead with, oh my God, I've done what actors have done through the ages and created my own damn work.
Yeah, pivot. I think it's much more valuable to showcase your versatility than to showcase your lack of work.
Yeah. And the 20-year-olds that are out there making a fortune on digital marketing, and I don't care what they're using. Fine. Maybe they're using AI. Maybe you've got judgments. Maybe they don't like the same music you like or whatever. But you know what? they're out there making things happen. They're doing stuff. They might not be creating things you like, but they're out there creating things instead of
Hmm.
sitting around moaning and is this going to get me canceled in the audiobook community? But I think acknowledging that things are changing is fine, and then get up and figure out what to do about it.
Hmm.
Don't sit in it, you know.
Yeah, it's like running your, like when you lose a tooth or something or chip a tooth, you can't stop your tongue running over that space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's stop focusing on scarcity.
Yeah, because then you cut your tongue. Then you've got two problems. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, that's not where I want my energy to go, focusing on lack. I want my energy to go toward creativity and positive vibes in, in being growth oriented. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you reach out to one person, if each one of us reaches out to one fellow narrator, you're not asking him to like be your partner for life or move in with you or anything. One book, one person you think is simpatico that you could work with. And if you both did one project together, and if we all did that, it's like working with writers, how I feel about working with writers. Bye, Kim. It's how I feel about working with writers. If we just keep doing it, creating,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Just keep growing. Just keep growing. And when you grow, not to push other people out of the way, when you grow, you can have bigger
Grow
arms to
together.
put around people. Yeah.
We just keep making more and more magic. What are they going to do with that? You know, you can't, you'll be undeniable.
Right.
Nobody can stop us creating
Hmm.
what we do. And this time of the call has come. I didn't even, we lost Kim and I was like, oh my God. I thought it was a half hour. We've used more than the hour. I apologize for running over, but you are just so fascinating. And somehow you get me talking nonstop. So I will edit those bits. But Anne, if people take only one thing away from this call, what would you like them to leave with?
I would like to challenge everybody to discover something that they can do away from a digital screen. I would like them to discover something that recharges their battery that is not digitally oriented, whether it's exercise or knitting or painting or singing or volunteering. Discover something that will expand your, it's you just need to have some harmony in your life. And I'm not sure that it can be found in front of a screen.
I love that. You've inspired me. I'm gonna go this week and I'm gonna pretend I'm like a fourth grader. I am.
You're going to find some grandma's lingerie.
Oh no, 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 not that fourth grader. A normal fourth grader. I'm gonna, I was
Oh,
impressed.
normal's a setting on the dryer. Don't do normal.
I wanna build a mission. Do a
Or,
craft.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's as simple as, I mean, you can take you could just, there's so much stuff on here I'm telling you to go to the internet to look.
I
Um,
know.
isn't that awful? You know what I did? This is kind of, and I know we have to go.
We don't
I
have
see
to go. I could keep you here all night.
the free, the free groups you have in your neighborhood. I'm going to put this on my doorstep for free, whoever wants it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I
I
went over
think
to
that's an
this,
American thing.
oh, it could be. I went over to this lady's house. She was giving away a lot of costume jewelry. And I love to think creatively, like I can make a sun catcher out of that, or I can use super glue and glue those little fake jewels around my flower pot. And so that's what I've been doing, is been kind of like collecting costume jewelry for future crafts projects. I don't
Oh
know what
my
they're going to be,
God.
but how fun would
Free
that be?
costume jewelry. That is like nirvana.
Yeah, right?
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I already did one and it really was a flop, but it was fun. look, I think I was the only, it looked a lot better in my mind than it looked when I got it done. But it was fun to do. It was just fun. It was tactile. My eyeballs were
Yeah.
working differently, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
We did the flat dopamine, like pink and green walls and mirrors everywhere. And I painted sunshine faces and moon faces and stars and gold gilt on things. And you're right. Didn't do it on purpose, but you're right. I'll never forget that. It was last summer. I'll never forget that time. It was so much fun. It was like every project, ooh, this would look, every time you look at a different part of the room, but this part looks a bit boring now compared to all that. It's fun.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
yourself back to summer camp. Find
Yeah.
an arts and crafts thing.
I love that. Okay. Lots of plans and ideas thanks to you, Anne. And this has been wonderful.
I enjoyed it. It's always fun talking to you, Daniela. Thank you so much for asking me to be on.
Thank you so much. You do know that I'm like, I don't know how many calls I'm going to do next year. I'm like, Anne.
I have some names. I'll DM you. I have some names I think would be great guests for you.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yes, please. I'm always, and Joel sent me some, and I've got a list of people. I just have to see where I'm going to head with it. But I'm always open to names. So send me
Well, I
some.
hope you choose to continue Cup of Joe. I really love it. I know a lot of my students rely on it to get to know important people and colleagues, and it's just a valuable thing you contribute to our industry.
Thank you. I love doing them, and I'm not ready to completely let go, but I'm thinking maybe scheduling will change. I'll change the schedule and the way I book them.
Yeah, make it manageable for you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Or it's if you just don't do it, it's a lot of apologies. Oh my God, I swear look at
Right?
that
Right?
video.
Oof.
Yes, and Doreen, it was lovely seeing you. We've lost it. We've lost the other two cohorts, but Doreen, mwah, it's lovely seeing you. And Anne, thank you so much for joining. It's been wonderful.
I have
And
totally enjoyed it.
have fun. Do an amazing, exciting project. Reach out to fellow narrators, anyone watching this on YouTube. Make
Yeah.
something. Create something.